Hey guys, welcome to another MakuluLinux video. Now, we didn't really do many releases in 2020. In fact, we only did one, but it was a very upside down chaotic year, and so we have some really valid excuses for that. However, we did continue working on builds, and I tell you, we've got a really nice lineup for 2021, starting with the new Lindos that is going live in about 3 weeks' time. So this video, I'm actually going to show off that new Lindos. I'm going to show you just a sort of a quick overview of what to expect. I do hope you guys had a very good new year and that 2021 is a much better year for everyone. So let's take a look at Lindos. Now, the previous builds of Lindos looked pretty much like this. You had this sort of semi-transparent bluish bar at the bottom. I tried to keep it as standard as possible. It's never a good idea to sort of jump new things onto people. The menu, for the most part, is similar. It's not exactly the same, but it is similar. It's similar enough to the previous menu. Because we used the configurable menu. Now we're using the center menu, but I have themed it and sort of configured it to be similar, to be very similar to the previous menu. So you've still got the categories on the left, and then you've got the big buttons on the right, the big application buttons, same as the configurable menu. There are some other options that the configurable menu had that are now changed. These options are at the bottom here instead. So there have been some minor changes to the menu, but for the most part, it will feel very similar to the previous menu. So that's your main menu, is this nice big graphical center menu, which is nice, and of course the shiny sort of semi-transparent bottom panel as normal. So there's no surprise there. The desktop looks very similar. The clock has undergone some changes. I'll get to that in a second. We have added a second menu. If you now push your mouse into the top corner there, you now have a full screen menu. So you have a full screen menu that looks nice. It's also semi-transparent or translucent, put it that way. And you can just click on something just by obviously selecting something in menu. So you've got the top menu in the corner there, nice, and you've got the your standard menu in the bottom left corner. So that's nice. Next to the menu, you've got your shortcuts as usual, some quick shortcuts over there. On the other side, you've got your standard clock, volume, network, printers, blah, blah, blah. We've also got an accessibility button here now. That's new. So you can quickly, get to your on-screen keyboard or zoom in or whatever you want to do. Enable. That's quickly accessed through that button, which is really nice. We've also got another little applet on the bottom corner here, right in the corner, and that is to scroll through your different workspaces. So now we're on workspace 1. There's a 1 there in the big block. You can see you can just hold your mouse there and you can just roll the wheel and you can scroll through the different workspaces. So that's nice. Very quick and easy to change workspaces. Instead of having to alt tab or alt control tab or whatever, you can now just roll the mouse wheel. Okay, so that's very nice. I think a lot of people might like that. If we open up the actual file manager, we have a look here. We have updated to the latest Nemo 4.8.2 and running the latest Cinnamon 4.8 point something. So it's up to date. It's really up to date with the latest Cinnamon build, which is nice because it offers all the new features that come with that. The theme as well, if we take a look at the theme even deeper, you'll notice there's a lot of polish that's gone on here. Some of these buttons that sort of, well, they were a little dodgy on some of our previous builds. They've all been fixed up. They all look nice, really nice. Highlighting's nice. You know, everything's just been polished. So I focused a lot on polishing. Even the little check boxes look great. Everything just looks nice. Little radio buttons look just perfect. So there's a lot of polishing going on that's gone on there. You'll also notice that the icon sets have changed quite a lot. We now use this sort of green Windowsy icons. It's from what, Vista? I think it was the old Vista kind of theme. But it's only for folders. It's just the folders. So whenever you see a folder, it will be green. When you actually look at applications and other stuff, we've sort of started mixing the Windows icons with some other icons. So you've got the sort of meshed icon pack that's sort of given it its own custom look and feel. So you no longer have the only Windows only icons. Look there, if I'm going to like different items now, calendar or sound and video, you won't see Windows icons. These aren't your typical Windows icons that you'll get in a Windows icon pack. We have kept some of the places and folders. We've sort of kept to sort of still have the sort of Windowsy look, but that's it. That's about the only application, the only icons that will give you sort of the Windows feel, and that's only because it really suits the blue look of the current theme. This sort of almost a Windows 70 theme that we have here, but even that has changed quite a lot as well. Talking about themes, so when we've got two themes now. The reason I've changed these theme names, you'll see a Lindos Classic and a Lindos Modern, is because we've been making so many changes to the themes. Okay, they're not massive changes, but they are changes that the themes don't really, they're not a clone of like a Windows 7 or a Windows 95. They are a similar look, but they're not clones. You know, they have their own identity, they have their own little variations and changes and so forth. They are based on the Windows 7 and they are based on the Windows 95 themes, but they are not clones. So therefore, I've pushed the names to Lindos Classic and Lindos Modern. So the current theme you see here is the Lindos Modern theme. Okay, so that's the modern theme. Looks quite nice, very pretty. It does have a very Vista / Windows 7 / look to it, but it's not a Windows 7 clone and it's not a Vista clone. We also have the Classic. So if I select Classic there, let's just select the Classic theme and let's take a look at that. So there we go, change it to Classic. You'll see now you've got that very old Classic look. Okay, you still have your workspaces there, except it now suits the Classic look. The accessibility is still there with a pop-up with the little checkboxes. And if we open up the menu, you're going to see you've got a Classic menu now. Now you don't have that big grid style menu. You've now got this list style menu with a very classic look. So now again, these folder icons here that show these categories, that looks very Windowsy. That's fine. But the actual apps, a lot of the actual apps, they have their own icons. Not all of them are, you know, we're moving more and more away from sort of Windows. And so you will find the odd icon here and there, but for the most part, Lindos is now getting its own, look and feel and its own personality. So more and more with each build, we're sort of moving away from the sort of Windows clone kind of feel. Okay, so, and again, this is now the very old classic look for the people that prefer the old classic style. Again, very nice, everything working, everything's been polished. You won't find a button that's skew or out of place or not looking the way it's supposed to, or, you know, everything's just hunky-dory. Yeah, everything's almost perfect. Almost. I say almost because there's always issues. Anyway, so that is the classic look now. As you can see, it's a very nice look. Very, very nice look. For the people that prefer the old classic, and this is also a mix between the sort of Windows, I would say probably the Windows 95 and the old Windows 3.1 kind of look, as you can see with the buttons and the borders. It's like a Windows 3.1 kind of look, but the actual GTK theme with the buttons is more like a Windows 95 kind of look. So again, it's a mix and match of themes over there, and also the icons are not exactly only the old classic icons. They've been mixed with other icon packs as well. So again, it's kind of taking an identity of its own. So let's go back to the modern theme. So quick and easy to change, just takes a few seconds. There we go. So now if we open the menu again, we now have that whole full screen menu as well. Let's quickly run through the apps. Now, unlike the previous Lindos builds, which were quite bloated with a lot of software, Lindos this time around is going to be quite bare bone. There's going to be a couple of apps installed, but not much. So let's quickly run through them. So you've got a calculator, you've got the disks, a screenshot app, notepad kind of leafpad app, of course the background changer that we use, you've got Wallpaper, an archive manager, and a screenshot manager. That's it. Graphics, you've got an image viewer. Internet, you've got Microsoft Edge. Okay, I know a lot of people are going to go, why install Edge? Well, because it's something new, and why not? If you don't like Edge, you can simply install Google Chrome. You can install Firefox. They're both in the repos. Very easy to install them. Software Manager supports Flatpak, so you can install easily from there as well, Firefox or Chrome. So if you don't like it, change it. But by default, we've got Microsoft Edge, and it's worthwhile checking out, by the way. Office, we just got a calendar. Under sound and audio, we've got a volume controller, we've got a sound recorder, we've got a webcam app, and we've got a media player. Universal access, we've got a magnifier and a on-screen keyboard. Under administration, we've just got the normal system apps, got time shift over there, Deconf editor, a driver manager, BleachBit, boot repair. So there's almost nothing on the system. It's very bare bone. I mean, there are some apps, but it is fairly bare bone. This leaves the door open for guys to install their own stuff, install their own graphic editors. Do you like GIMP? Install it. You like something else like MyPaint? Install it. On the internet, all your own internet apps. Office, you can install your own Office suite. Sound and video, your own media player, VLC, whatever you want, you can install it on your own. So we've left it pretty bare bone, okay? Which I think is probably going to be the route we're going to head now with Lindos. It just takes too much to maintain everything, and it just seems that majority of people are actually quite happy with it bare bone. So we're going to leave it like that. Now to move over to the wallpaper selector. So if I right click here and I go desktop background, I've got a wallpaper changer over there. So if I select wallpaper, I can then just scroll the wallpapers, and I can just select any wallpaper, like there we go, and it changes instantly. Choose another one, change it instantly. So right click close, go back to desktop backgrounds. You can configure the wallpaper as well. That will open up the actual settings of the app, so that's nice. Go back to desktop background. I can go next wallpaper and choose previous wallpaper, so you can quickly jump between wallpapers. You can also set whether the wallpaper is off, zoomed, stretched, scaled, centered, stretched. Okay, so you can set how you want the wallpaper. You can also go to desktop settings, which will then allow you to turn off your system icons, your desktop icons, or leave them on. For example, you can turn home off or on, and so forth, so forth, so forth. So this nice little wallpaper selector has a lot more options than the previous Lindos did. The previous Lindos had select wallpaper, configure wallpaper. I'm not even sure we had next and previous. Maybe we did. But all of the rest of this is all new, so that's all nice. So you've got a nice little wallpaper changer there. You've also got the theme manager, of course, you've seen. Just quick and easy, jump between themes. If you want to add your own custom theme, you can just go to System Settings, go to Themes Advanced, and you can then select your own custom theme there. We're only maintaining 2 themes at this point. I know the previous Lindos had a ton of themes. We're just going to stick to Modern and Classic. Easy and simple. It's not bloated. It's very straightforward, and it's easier for us to maintain as well. The clock. This is probably one of the bigger changes here. Wow, look at all those options. So you can change. Right now you've got this nice white funky clock over here. You can change from analog to digital, from digital to analog, because by default it's digital. You can click analog and you'll see that the clock will change to analog, which also looks really nice, or back to digital. You can change from a white clock to a black clock, or back to a white clock again. You can change from 24 hours to 12 hours. It's now in the morning, so it's not going to make a difference, but if it's in about an hour's time, it actually will. But you can change 12, 24. You can put the clock on the left, or you can keep it on the right. Of course, if you want to put it on the left, you've got to just disable the desktop icons so that they don't overlap with the clock, or unlock them and move them to the other side. And of course, the quotes on the desktop, you can set them to update hourly or daily. These quotes, how often you want them to refresh, because these quotes, they refresh. Currently, it's set to hourly. If you select daily, it will reload the clock and it will say there daily. There it actually tells you daily. Okay, so now the quotes will only update once a day. If you want hourly again, just select hourly. It will refresh the whole clock and obviously close the GUI, because that's part of the script, and just give it a second. There we go. Now it's hourly again. Okay, so very easy. Some nice options. You can control the digital analog, black or white, 12 or 24, left or right, hourly or daily for the quotes. Weather settings, of course, by default, there's nothing there. You go into weather settings, get the code from there, enter the code, set Celsius or Fahrenheit. It's very easy. Just follow the instructions and you can set your weather options. Refresh clock, just simply refreshes the clock. And if you go here to additional options, this is probably a very nice feature to have. Here you can turn certain things on and off. So you can turn on system information, which is the section, weather report, which is that section, news feeder, which is this section, and the quotations, which is that section. So you can switch any of them on and off. For example, let's take the news headlines. Let's take the news feeder and turn it off. So I click off. There it's gone. The additional options again, system information off, and it's gone. You understand? And so it goes on and on. You can turn virtually everything off and just have a blank clock on just the plain clock with nothing else on the desktop if that's what you want. But yeah, you can turn the individual parts of this little script on and off, which I thought was brilliant. So you've got all this massive customization on the clock. You can move the clock to the left, to the right, to change the color. The reason for the black-white color is because sometimes you'll have like a wallpaper. Like, let's take, do I have one that's light enough? If you take like a very, very white wallpaper, something that's like that, it's closed now. It's very dark to see all of the text on the clock because the wallpaper is so light. I mean, users are going to download their own wallpapers too. You might just get very light wallpapers and the white text on the wallpaper might not look so great. And that's where you choose black. You understand? So if you have a light wallpaper, you choose the color black. And if you have a darker wallpaper, there you can, well, a dark wallpaper with a black is kind of a problem. You can just switch back to white again. Although this background you can use either or. But yeah, so you've got all these clock options, which is really, really nice too. Other than that, there's no other real surprises. A lot of the upgrades and stuff to the system have been back-end. We now support the 2004 repos, which means we've upgraded the Python. We've dropped Python 2 completely, moved to Python 3, which is a big, massive, big leap for Makulu because our previous base was full of Python 2 dependencies. We had to really strip that out. What a nightmare that was. But anyway, so that's done. If you open up your software center, let's quickly have a look at that. You see how quick this is, by the way. If you open up your software center, you're going to see here that some of these apps are Snapcraft. There's a Snapcraft app. So Snapcraft is supported out of the box, as is FlatHub. I don't know to find one now that's got FlatHub. See if I can find one there. FlatHub. Okay, so FlatHub and Snapcraft both supported out of the box, which means you've got thousands and thousands of apps that you can simply just click to install. Very nice. Yeah, we've also got a nice driver manager to manage your drivers, software updater, and so forth. So yeah, MakuluLinux Lindos, I don't want to really start getting, I just wanted to show off some of the front end, what users can expect. It's a very smooth experience now. I mean, as you see, I'm inside a virtual machine. Let's show you. Okay, I'm inside a virtual machine, VMware. So, everything you've sort of been seeing me do is inside a virtual machine. Very fast, very quick, very snappy. I don't have any kind of slowdowns or lags inside a virtual machine, and I'm on an old laptop from like 2011. That's the laptop I used to design Makulu. And yeah, so if it runs in a virtual machine, it's going to run really well on any kind of decent hardware. So you're looking at a very well polished system that's going to run well. It's going to run smooth. Let's have a look here quickly at the system settings before I exit. So you got the backgrounds here, desktop clock, effects, font selection. Themes will pop up that theme selector. Advanced themes will pop up the more advanced themes, of course. And let's go back there. Yeah, otherwise you just got your standard stuff here, your standard system settings options. You do have some additional, driver manager, user groups, firewalls installed by default, and you can set your software sources. So yeah, other than that, it is really very bare bone. If you think how bloated Lindos used to be, and you look at it now, it is quite bare bone. All the essentials are there though. For you to run a smooth operating system, the essentials are there. Otherwise, open Software Center and just start installing whatever you want. Did you see how quick that was, by the way? I clicked, it was there. This is very snappy, very quick. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this. Moving from Windows to Lindos, such a breeze. And yeah, it's like I said, it's not intended as a Windows clone. We want to start moving away from that. We do want to keep the sort of Windowsy feel, but we also want it to have an identity of its own, sort of like a mix between Windows and Linux kind of thing. Anyway, and that's basically what Lindos is now. So it's snappy, it's fast, it's comfortable, it's smooth, and it just works. Doesn't matter what you do, it always just works. So I think users are going to really enjoy this. You got some nice customizations, some nice wallpapers to play with, great looking desktop. You got two really nice themes that work out of the box. Both of them work equally well. They've both been polished very well. And so there's no surprises there. I mean, you're not going to find a button that's going to be like, oh, everything's working, but look at that ugly button. None of that. And so easy to change and swap between them, and you've got some of these extra things here with the workspaces, and then you've got this little hidden menu at the top there for the guys that prefer like this big scroll overlay menu from sort of like almost like a gnomish kind of look. You have that as well. Simply move your mouse into the top corner and just hold it there for a second, and yeah, you'll have the full screen menu, which is nice as well. So yeah, that's it. That's Lindos in a nutshell. It's straightforward, which is what we were going for. It's fairly bare bone, not completely bare bone, but it's fairly bare bone, straightforward. It's fast, it's smooth, it works well, everything runs out of the box. You got plenty installation options in the Software Center. Snapcraft and FlatHub both supported, and some nice theming, lots and lots and lots of polishing on the theming, so, and lots of clock options. I think people are going to really enjoy this, and yeah, we look forward to releasing this. So keep your eye out for this. In about 3 weeks time, this is going to be available to, well, the whole world. This will be our first release of 2021, and there are more to come. So do remember, guys, it has been a shitty year for everybody I know, but also for me, also for the project. So if you guys can support the project, please do. I'm trying to also build our Patreon system up so that we can get sort of like a monthly sort of cash flow going. It's been there are some Patreons, and I thank you guys. You guys have helped tremendously, but I'm trying to get it up into the few $100 at least. We haven't even hit the 100 yet. We've barely passed half of that. So if you guys can support us monthly, please do. We would appreciate that. If not, once-off donation goes a long way as well. Like I said, I'm trying to build a cash flow, and it's been extremely difficult. I have some great ideas to expand Makulu as well, but it all takes money, which I don't have, and that always delays everything too. So yeah, I have to bring up the cash flow thing because I have plans and I need money to do them. Anyway, Nice speaking to you guys again. It's been a while since I made a video, and I look forward to lots of releases this year. Keep your eyes open for Lindos. It's going to be awesome. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.